Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those who don't conform to a gender binary, welcome to the Future Collaborations podcast. With me today are a band that are a crazy surf rock band that I think are fantastic. They've even got someone that I know to dress up as a mantis, and that was extremely funny to see. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Milk Lizards. How you doing, fellas?
Hello. Woo! Yeah. Got a fans in. We're good.
That's great.
Bit warm in the bunker at the moment, but apart from that.
It's so warm. It's the middle of summer. What do you expect? It's been absolutely boiling. It's boiling where I work as well. I'm so glad we've got aircon. Um, yeah, it feels like a very fun concept. So the Milk Lizards, like I said, are a weird surf rock band. They are fantastic though. You are fantastic. It's not usually my sort of music, but then I'll listen to it. It kind of.
That's what everyone says. They don't realize it's their kind of music till they hear it. Then it's their kind of music.
I think that holds true. But where did you actually get a start in music between the three of you?
In music,
Right. For me, it was as a kid hearing Guns N' Roses. I think, yep, that's cool. I want to do that, and then still never being able to do that.
For me, it was Oasis because I'm a little bit. Oh, I'm the same age as you, aren't I? I'm a bit
You
younger.
sort of worst taste in music.
So younger, yeah. It was Oasis for me that made me get an Argos Strat. How about you, Fred?
It was fun rock for me because I'm very, very old. But I wasn't old enough to go to gigs, so I thought I need to be in a band. So,
To get to the gigs.
Yeah. Then you could play the
We all
gigs.
started with guitars, did you?
yeah.
How did the Milk Lizards come about then? First of all, how did the name come about? Because it's a very, very unusual name.
Well, it wasn't the original. For the first gig, we went out as Bikini Atoll, which was the island in the Pacific where they tested the nukes in the war. So we went out as that, and then it was just.
It was meant to be like an island paradise, Hawaiian sort of theme, I guess, and then the US Army or Air Force just blew it up.
So that was the first name, but then it was one practice. Like it was the Dillinger Escape Plan and a song called Milk Lizard. Like put an S on the end, and everyone's like, "Yeah, that sounds better." So that's where it came from. Dillinger Escape Plan.
I like it. I like a bit of Dillinger Escape Plan. So that's actually great. I love that you just. This is a good song. We're just going to steal the name and put an S on the end.
Yeah, just take it.
I can respect that. So obviously, you're a surf rock. Where did you begin with this whole surf rock style and the whole? There's not a lot of lyrics in there either. Which, I mean,
No lyrics.
There's no lyrics. There's some words.
No.
I mean, you have a 15-minute song about a shipping forecast.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't performed live. Yeah, it's the way. Again, it was. I heard a band called Mano Astro Man. 2002 maybe, and then just thought, oh, this is different. And it was like surf music's one of those things like what you were saying earlier. You didn't know it was your type of music, but it's one of those types of music that you hear all the time. Films, adverts, like even like SpongeBob, cartoons, things like that. So like it kind of like you know about it through osmosis. Like it just seeps into your brain and like
and everyone knows the surf beat. It's so unique. It was a tingle. Yeah, so you got like the extra snare beat in there, which everybody kind of recognizes, but it's not used much in other genres apart from surf, really. So it's quite unique. So when you hear it, but it's but yeah, like Steve said, it's in lots of films, it's in lots of adverts. For me, it's always Tarantino films. There's a lot of surf in there, like Dick Dale and
That's what I was saying. I got into Man Astro Man, and then just thought, oh, I'll try and write some stuff like that. And then at the time, I was in a band, and we did have words. All the songs had words. And then we just started doing a few songs like that, and we thought, oh, it'd be cool to do a fully instrumental band. Then years later, we thought, oh, well, we'll do an instrumental surf cover band. So there was all the hard parts were done. There was no singing, and the songs were written. So that was it. When we went out first, it was just all covers, like your standard surf covers. And it was a good laugh. But then
We dressed like accountants.
yeah, dressed like accountants,
With
nice,
nice, fresh, crisp white shirts and black trousers.
and then just obviously deviated from there and started getting more.
And then we started to wear boiler suits, and then now we wear sort of full Hawaiian.
Full on cliche.
I think the cliche works. Although the boiler suits, as a big
Not good in the
Slipknot fan.
summer.
Oh, I can imagine. But as a big Slipknot fan, it's like, what, these people are in boiler suits, but they're not playing angry screamy music. I'm very confused. But I like the idea of outfits, especially Hawaiian outfits. Like you said, like you wanted some of your music is very Hawaiian paradise, and I think that's a good way to put it. I think that's a good way to describe it, even if obviously the island you named yourselves after in the beginning was a bit of a nuclear wasteland by the end.
Well, that was when we first started the band. I started buying loads of old Hawaiian records just to try and find more instrumental songs that we could do. So that's where I fell in love with Hawaiian music. I still love it.
From charity shops.
Charity shops. So
I've got several Hawaiian albums that he gave me from charity shops, and I didn't even have a record player at the time.
Yeah, I've got a couple as well.
kind of beat Hawaiian music, man. Great.
Especially if you've got them on records. I mean, records are becoming a lot more popular now anyway. So you might have some absolute gold in your collection now.
Got some absolute beauties they have.
You'll have to-
Beautiful Hawaiian cliched women wearing coconuts. Just the whole cliche is there on these records. I tell you.
That's
Well,
our next look. We're going to wear coconut bra.
I was about to suggest that. Just coconuts everywhere. That's what.
Just blow everyone's minds. I'm for that, like.
Yeah, lovely. Bonanza's been and gone though.
Next time.
Well, there we go. Now we've got that sorted. But yeah, like there's a lot of, like I said, I listened to a bit, and there's almost a kind of. This is going to sound really weird, but there's almost like a sort of skatey element in some of the songs as well, which I think, like as a fan of like Tony Hawk's, like the Tony Hawk's games, there's a lot of songs that elicit sort of
I definitely
memories
agree with
from that
yeah,
game.
because there's a lot of instrumentally sort of songs in Tony Hawk's, wasn't there?
Yeah.
It was kind of like background music for games.
Yeah, well, I think that's like what Rich was saying. Obviously, Rich is like it was punk that got him in.
Yeah.
And like I grew up in the 90s with the Tony Hawk type bands like your Grey Day, your Blinks, all those. And like I think we do have when we started, it was very traditional, nice surf, but we have kind of like mutated this like punk bastardized version of surf, which like we've done gigs in the past with punk bands, and we've been more punk than them, which is like really weird for an instrumental surf band. But it's just like it's like anything though, like everything evolves, and that's what we've morphed into. Like
And you couple that with the boiler suits, and it's a bit intimidating on stage. And we kind of felt like when we were in the boiler suit phase, we felt there was sometimes a bit of a disconnect between us and the audience. We felt like people didn't really fully. You got the odd person did, but we felt like everybody didn't really fully embrace us. So, but when we've changed to the Hawaiian
like shirts and that, everyone
shorts,
thinks,
and we've got the lays, you know, the flower necklace.
everyone just thinks you're the life of the party.
Yeah, I think you like the party, you want to be, but.
So what's sort of been the highlight of your career so far as the Milk Lizards? What have you enjoyed doing the most?
It's just that fact that we're still going. I think it's been like I think our first gig was in I'm not sure, maybe it's 2016, maybe it's 15, I'm not sure. So like we did have a little break, but like the fact that we're still doing it, we still enjoy it. Like to me, that's the biggest win. Someone once told us success is relative, and that's like one of the best things I've ever been told. Like, yeah, we're not playing stadiums, we're not selling or having millions of listens on platforms like Spotify and whatnot, but to me, that's not what success is. Success to me is I'm down here after a day of work and I'm practicing with my mates, rocking out, playing music I love, while everyone else I work with's gone home and just sat in the house. Like we'll just talk.
Clarkson's farm.
We were just talking about it earlier. Like it's where you put the goalpost, isn't it? So like the fact that we're still going after a long time, and like I've got no intention of quitting. I mean, we've lost drummers left, right, and centre. Richard's happily filling in, and that's just like that to me. That's success. Just like
I think you need it as well. I think you need a champion to keep a band going as well, because it's so easy when I've been in bands in the past. You need at least one person to have the enthusiasm to keep it going, despite, because people are going to come and go. You're going to lose musicians all the time. Gigs are going to get cancelled. COVID was a difficult one to negotiate because we had quite a few gigs cancelled for COVID.
album recorded.
And so you have to, yeah, we just finished recording an album, so we had to kind of mix that during COVID remotely, which was quite difficult at the time. And but I think if at least about, like, you get a lot of bands nowadays who are kind of one person, and they just kind of have almost like hired musicians around them, whereas for us it's more the camaraderie side of things. So the fact that me and Steve, we've had different members of the band come and go over the years for whatever reason. I think because me and Steve have formed a bit of a nucleus, where we've got a mutual understanding, and the band kind of over the last 10 years has taken on its own sort of
Like almost like
mission
self-rules.
mission and ethos, where it's kind of, we just want to play surf rock music. That's it, with our own sort of spin on it, and we want to go out and gig. And we've had members of bands who've not wanted to gig. We've had members of bands who've not wanted to really focus on playing surf. And it's kind of like, no, they go against the sort of the mission statement. The unofficial, unwritten mission statement of the band is to just keep it going. So we because we have had a changeover of members of the band quite a lot over the last few years. When we went for 7 years with the same three, and then we've had 4 members, we've had different drummers. And I think it's the fact that me and Steve are like, as long as the both of us can be bothered to do it, and there's still that appetite, then it'll keep going. And so it could be later this year that we decide we've had enough and it's not worth the effort, or other parts of life get in the way. Or, I mean, obviously we've been in the band through what I've been divorced while I've been in the band. It's like you've got all these life things go on, but you've got this constant, which is the band. And it's kind of therapeutic to have something that, you know, you're learning, you're growing while you're in the band, but it doesn't really matter. People don't really listen to it until you release an album, and even then they still don't listen. Okay.
Okay.
Or you take it on the road, and you kind of, like, we played the Surf Bonanza a few weeks ago at the Clooney. There must have been at one point 250 people there really enjoying it, and it was kind of, that was what makes it worthwhile, that we brought this art form on the road. There's people there really enjoying it, might go away and might recognize the music.
Yeah, but ultimately, going back to the question, I think all any musician wants is for someone just to come up here at the end and go, "That was mint.
Yeah,
that was good. Like, I enjoyed your set." Like, if one person comes up with it at the end of the night and says like, "Oh, that was mint. That was really good," like that's
Yeah.
the job done.
Job
But
done.
as well, like, for me personally, it's not like I'm not going out to show how good I am at guitar, because I'm not. I'd much rather any day of the week someone came up to me and went, "You use a mint as a band," than someone come up and said, "You're a mint guitarist." I'm not there for that. I'm there, like John says, the collective, the camaraderie, the band. Like, someone thinking the band is good is the ultimate goal, and it doesn't cost now.
True. I like that. I like that. The main, yeah, you're putting the band as a whole on a pedestal rather than just like one member.
Well, absolutely, because the band ultimately is kind of like the boss, like, and that's what you're putting out there. Like, I'm not putting myself out there on stage. If I was, I'd be playing with a backing track. I'm playing with 2 musicians who can make mistakes. And if you know what I mean, like, if I wanted to just be me, I'd go out with an iPod with drums on and sample and play guitar. But who wants to watch that?
Exactly.
Like, ultimately, the band is the main vehicle that we use.
And I think, like, as someone that is in bands and stuff and does, obviously I help run the music group at Autism Able, I think that the camaraderie, especially in stuff like bands, it's almost like it's sports teams in a way, in that even if someone messes up, I mean, obviously you can take the mick a little bit because everyone does, it's banter, but you still group around that person. And like you said,
and you got to help each other out as well. If it's like mid song, you can't just like stop and point fingers at people. It's like you've all got to dig yourself out of the hole that's created. If it's kind of, especially as a three-piece, if one of us, well, if I mess up, it's kind of just nobody notices then bass. But if either of these two mess up, it's pretty obvious, because when you're the only guitarist and you're the drummer, you've got absolutely nowhere to hide when you make a mistake. So it's kind of, if we miss something, it's it's about just trying to figure out where you're on the song. And I quite like when you do mess up, because it does happen occasionally. The kind of, you don't even talk about it afterwards, do you? But there's almost like this kind of, you've got this almost telepathic connection to get back on track, to kind of repair where we are in the song and get going again. And then there has been once or twice in the 10 years where I've just had to stop a song completely and be like, let's start again.
But going back to the camaraderie as well, like I love everything. Like I love the practice. Like I love the going to gigs in the car, like everyone together in the car. Like we've done gigs where we've had to take too much stuff and we've had been in two cars, and it's not the same. It's best when like there's three blokes in a car or three people in a car. You all go to the same place. You're just having a bit crack on. It's just like that's the and like the boiler suits and obviously the Hawaiian things, having that uniform, are kind of obviously you're like almost like a unit.
Yeah,
like we're here as one entity almost. Like it's not like, oh, like you're the guitarist, you're the bass player. It's like we are this unit. And that's like, yeah, I think that's like what John was saying earlier. It's like this mentality that's evolved that we didn't plan, and then it's like it's kind of like organically evolved into our mission statement. Like the band's like one organism almost, and like
and we're very protective of it
Yeah.
and try to keep it going. And it's kind of, you do have to. We've even kind of lost track ourselves on it, and we did more Hawaiian songs. And it was kind of like we went out as the Multises, but it was kind of like, hang on, this is not what this band is. This is another band. So let's call it
Rename
another
it.
band and rename it, rather than try to kind
confuse
of
people.
try to kind of change the brackets as to what the Multises is. So it's kind of so I think that's that I think I like that. And yeah, it is. It's like any art form, isn't it? You come together, you're creating something, and then it's the songs, but you've also got to have someone in the band who likes to write the songs, and if you're doing the originals and stuff like that, and that's hard work. And Steve comes down here when he's in a sort of songwriting phase. He'll come down here a few times a week on his own, just recording demos to save everybody else the sort of pain of trying to work out a song from scratch. And I think, again, if you're an originals band, you need somebody to kind of live and breathe it like that. Because I'm never going to do that sort of thing. So that's why I could never keep the band going on my own, because I would never have that level of kind of interest or devotion to it. But playing bass occasionally, it's dead easy.
that's fair. I think, yeah, no, I completely agree with you that camaraderie not almost above everything else, because obviously you've got to have the music and stuff. But if it was sort of at this point anyone else, especially between yourselves, John and Steve, like it just wouldn't feel the same, would it? And I think that's the important
and I think
part.
as well it needs, but also the output, the music is a product of that sort of relationship, of that, because otherwise you even if you're doing the odd cover or here and there, it's kind of, it doesn't happen unless you're having conversations and you're talking about this stuff. It's unless you're a pure covers band and everybody just goes away and learns songs from a record, then fair enough. But if you're doing original stuff, it does require a lot of time spent in the rehearsal studio, practicing, trial and error, experimenting with different things, and then the song that people hear on records or that we're out playing, some of them are the result of many months of turmoil and stress around trying to get a song right. And some of the songs, like we did today, Rich just picked up one of our songs in about 3 minutes. So you've got that side of the coin as well, where something's go incredibly easy. So but yeah, and we agonized over recording the last album. It didn't really flow that well, so we kind of struggled to carve time out for it. And as you get older, you tend to have less time. So I think, yeah, that's the same thing. But it's still, we do ask ourselves why we do it, and we still can't quite put our finger on it. Yes, all the other stuff's great, but it is a lot of time and money and effort that you put into it.
But ultimately, if we didn't think it was fun, we wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah,
So obviously we still find
fun. I think everybody gets the fun from it in a different way. Like, I think, not speaking out of turn for Steve, I don't think is he likes the sort of the mission of it, of getting there, rocking people's world, and then getting back successfully, and then getting home and being like, that was a good gig, it was a good day, we got loads done. I prefer the actual being on stage bit. I enjoy that bit the most, and I don't care for the rest of it. I don't know what Rich gets out of it.
Well, like Rich obviously loves music because like he's standing in for us as well as about 7 other bands. So like
I like playing. I like playing music.
That's fair enough.
It is like
Whereas
like
practice for this gig.
Yeah, it's just like it's been in the best gang in the world, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I remember, I think once we had a break, and John said like when you walk down, it sounds really pretentious. When you walk down the street and you're in a band, you just look at people and think, "You're not a band. You're not a band." I'm me. And like it is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, if any of us now just suddenly couldn't be in a band, and you weren't in any of your bands, we weren't in the Milk Lizards or anything, and you just and you kind of it's kind of like, I know it sounds tough, but it's a bit like Civvy Street, you know, like, which is like police officers or people who are in the forces and things like that, where you've got the normality of the world, but then they've got this other world which is so different. And I'm not trying to put us on any pedestal with those guys, but I imagine it's a similar kind of feeling, which is where, you know, like people retiring from roles in society like that, and then going back to normality. It's strange, and I think it's similar for bands. It's something unusual and different. And when you tell people you're in a band, everyone's always like, "Oh wow, you're in a band."
I mean, I was just going to say that it must be quite a rare thing, because when people do find out through work or your normal life, a lot of people are always like shocked, because obviously they must not meet a lot of people who do it, especially at our age where we just keep on doing it for no good reason apart from the fact that we enjoy it.
I'm your age still doing that nonsense floor.
I used to work with a bloke who used to always ask us, he was like, "Didn't tell us how much, but are you getting paid?" And like when I said, "Well, we didn't get any money," he was like disgusted, because like he would only do it for money. Like, if I'm not getting paid, I'm not playing the gig. It's like, that's not what I'm in it for, because if I was doing it for that, I'd never gig.
Yeah.
Because like back when we were doing gigs years ago, there wasn't a lot of money knocking about. You'd be lucky if you got 40 quid for a gig, like, and that was like very lucky.
Hasn't changed much.
Yeah, you know what I mean, we've been fortunate recently and had some quite good paying gigs, but like this could never be my job. And I think anything though, like when you think about it being your job, I think I would hate it. Like, oh, I'm gonna go down again. Like at the minute, I'm like, I've had my job, I'm sick of that job. I'm going to practice, and practice is what I'm looking forward to. Where if practice was my job, it's like, well, what's my escape? Going to work. Like, so like it's like almost like I think I'm always happy with where we're at. Like,
yeah, like
we're not mega stars, but we're never gonna be, and I don't want to be. Like,
yeah, you're happy is effectively a hobby.
yeah, oh yeah, we all know that, don't we? Like, sometimes hobbies cost you money. Sometimes like we're in our practice room now that we pay a lot of money for, and we pay for that privilege. Like, we can come in here whenever we want. The gig is safe, but that's a privilege we pay for. If by gigging we can pay for that privilege, that's brilliant. But if not, we've all accepted the small print that, right, if we don't make the rent, you've got to put your hand in your pocket and pull out yourself. And I think you just accept that, and it has happened lots of times, but that's just what you do.
Yeah, which is fair. Right, where can people find the Milk Lizards on the internet?
I think the website's still up.
I wouldn't go on, though.
Well, websites are old school now, aren't they? We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. If you just search for the Milk Lizards on either of those. Bandcamp.
Lots of stuff on Bandcamp.
Yeah, I think we've even got stuff on SoundCloud. We're not on TikTok, unfortunately.
I think we're on all major streaming platforms. Isn't that what they say these days?
Yeah, on Spotify and that.
I mean, I lost that fight, unfortunately.
Steve wanted us to stay more niche and not be on all the.
I just wanted cassettes, but like got it voted.
Yeah, we had to get with the times, unfortunately. And we're still trying to get with the times. We're still not very good at it, at the social media stuff.
Yeah, it's not easy, especially being at the whims of the algorithm. It's a bit of.
I saw a great meme the other day, and there was a good meme online that I shared, and quite a few liked it. It was from one of the Mission Impossibles, I think, with Tom Cruise, and he just sort of jumped out of a plane or something, landed, and then took his parachute stuff off, and then he had like a suit on and took a fake nose or something off and walked out. And then the meme was like, it's band members after the gig turning into social media and sales experts for like all the merch and stuff. And it was just like, well, yeah, that is the case. Unfortunately, you don't get gigs unless you do social media, and you don't get paid much unless you've got some merch to sell. And it's kind of this kind of vicious cycle that I think you've got to have or everything to kind of get it to work. But one of the things we like to do from a merch point of view, which is probably a hole in our finances, is we always like to give out free badges, little badges, the little. Have I got one on me?
It's Radio John, isn't it?
It's a video. Is it going to be a video podcast? This?
It's going to be a video, but I can find some pictures online of them.
Yeah, you can see the world's moved on.
I'm just standing
But there's one that we got done for the Surf Bonanza, a little pin badge.
I
So
love that.
we always get badges done for we've got loads for the Multers. We always have different colours and different varieties, and we got some done for the Surf Bonanza gig we put on the other week, and we just like to give them out free at gigs just to people, and it's like because people like free. It's like yeah, just completely and utterly free. It costs us 30 quid to get a batch done. It's not a huge amount of money. And we just like to give them away, and it's like a little memento of the gig. And I think that's just the thing. We've just if we haven't got any badges to give out free, I feel uncomfortable.
You mentioned something there. What was interesting about algorithms. Going back to COVID, when we were just about to release the second album, and I got voted and we were going to put it on Spotify. We'd never done it before. We didn't know how to do it. So I'm going online, was asking people, has anyone done this? How do we get it online, this album? What do we do? Can anyone give us any advice? And some guy just said, why are you releasing an album? The algorithms won't pick it up. And the answer was just, I'm in a band and bands release albums and music's not about algorithms. But that's just like, sadly, the way of the world now.
Yeah, because bands tend to, a lot of artists tend to release stuff as EPs and singles.
One song every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Well, we were just like, watch there's an album.
Yeah, there's an album, three listens in a year. That's what we're doing for.
Yeah.
You were one of those three, by the way.
Of course. Ignore the fact that all of the music I listened to was on YouTube. I will. Yeah, it's all on YouTube. I will link your Instagram, your Facebook, your Bandcamp, and your YouTube in the
Link tree.
I'll just put the link tree. There we go. I'll just put the link tree in there. That's a better idea. But genuinely, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much. I know I may have intruded practice a little bit, and we had a little bit of a to do with your internet down there. But
No, it's always nice to talk about as well because it's something you never normally get to have chats like this, do you? Really, because you never like getting into the philosophy of things. So it is nice to.
I've already got a reputation at work because I work in an infant school and there's not a lot of men. But recently, there's more men coming, and I'm like, I'm losing my USP. I don't have a USP anymore because that's one who turned up plays ukulele. It's like I'm really losing my USP now.
Nah.
So I think the USP is being the most boring person. So like getting into stuff like this, you can't really get into work. Like at dinner time, do you know why I'm in the band? It's like this philosophy, the dinner cam.
Exactly. No, it's genuinely been a really interesting chat, and I've really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
What's your band? What's your band called, by the way?
My band is called Token. It's we played at the Future Collaborations Festival.
Bro.
Back in what was it, April? God, it feels like a million years ago now.
Thank you, mate. No, the last one.
It's all good.
Are you playing the next one as well?
We're not playing in August. We're trying to work stuff out. We're trying to sort of do some Beach Boys stuff at the moment.
Nice.
Because obviously Brian Wilson passed away, and then I'm trying to convince Ian to do a Black Sabbath show as well.
I was going to say, Black Sabbath.
I went to see them. I went down to Birmingham for that gig.
Wow.
So that hit me like a brick about 20 minutes before I was meant to start recording. But yeah, genuinely, thank you very much for your time. And I will catch everyone later.